Well, welcome back, everybody. This is chapter 7. It's about a subject that I enjoy talking about. It's the concept of entrepreneurship. Now, entrepreneurship is a difficult subject, I suppose, to describe, but it is something that you can point out very easily. And let me explain what I mean by that. It's very hard to say what is entrepreneurship, okay? Is it, and we'll be discussing that in the next few seconds. However, it's very easy to identify entrepreneurs. Matter of fact, right now, as I record this lecture, I know that there are 5 entrepreneurs that are going to be watching it. See, every one of you is an entrepreneur because you're taking that chance with the resource that is probably the most valuable one that you have, and that's you. And you're trying to make that resource better. In a little while, after I record this lecture, I'm going to record another one where I'm going to explain to you how I went through the process of trying to build the best possible website for you folks to use. I was trying to be an entrepreneur with this course. Okay? So all of us in this class are entrepreneurs. Okay? That's number 1. So if we were going to define entrepreneurs, how do we do that? Well, with this slide, I used a little e. And let me explain to you why. There are maybe 5,000 or 6,000 companies listed on the various exchanges, major exchanges. And over the course of time, there's probably been, let's say, 50,000 really big companies in the United States that have come and gone over the spectrum of history. So that means that we're 50,000 entrepreneurs who came up with big companies, or so, okay? And that's out of the hundreds and hundreds of millions of people that have lived in the United States. Who were these people? The idea for some is that they were smart, they were wealthy, they were imaginative, they discovered new things, came up with new ideas. They had this drive, okay? And most of all, they define their success by maybe celebrity or conspicuous consumption. What do we mean by these? Think of this, the huge estates down in Newport. Edison, who put his name on everything. Howard Hughes, who put his name on everything. Donald Trump, who puts his name on everything and promotes himself, now for president. This is a group of entrepreneurs, okay? One group of entrepreneurs that go forward in time. Big companies, big ideas, granted, and very successful people. But behind them are the smaller entrepreneurs. Okay, the fellow that went to trade school and that now runs a plumbing business. Okay, the attorney who decides that he'll take a shot at teaching because he'd like to impart some knowledge, and then has to use the tools they give him to make a course. Okay. All these people, myself included, you, are entrepreneurs as well. And I would submit to you, okay, that the thousands upon thousands of little entrepreneurs are probably having a larger impact on the economy, domestic, international, than all those big entrepreneurs combined. Okay? So who are these entrepreneurs? And these are the ones I use the biggie for. Okay? First off, like I said, it's you. So welcome to the club of entrepreneurs. You're an entrepreneur. You're taking a risk. You're starting out. You're trying to improve yourself, improve a product. Because when you're done and you get that diploma, you're going to go out and you're going to try to either build a business yourself, okay, or help somebody else build a business. How do entrepreneurs work? Well, think of yourself, okay? At least once in your life, I'm sure you said, I can do that. Obviously, you applied to school, I can do that. Look at the other guy and say, he's no more bright than I am. I've got just as much hard work as he does. That's funny. In other words, strange. I put that in there for a reason. A lot of people think in the sciences it's that the scientist goes, aha, eureka, I've discovered something. No, the moment of discovery, okay, when you realize you made progress, okay, is when you get to look at something and go, funny, I didn't think it was going to go that way. Okay? At that moment, when you react to that, you're an entrepreneur. Okay? Another thing you may say is, I may not succeed at this, but I refuse to give up. Right? Showing up is half the battle. Enduring is the point. Okay? That's very important. Okay? And for entrepreneurs particularly, because your investment in whatever it is you're doing, and look in the book, they gave a whole bunch of examples, is your life. It's your blood. It is a part of you. Okay? It will be as close to you as anything that you have. And so obviously, right, you refuse to let it die. What motivates you? Well, you focus on things you're passionate about. You cannot do the amount of work that is required as an entrepreneur unless you're truly passionate about it. You truly love it. As I record this to you right now, it's approximately 12:30 at night. I love the idea that I get to talk to you, teach you. I hope you're enjoying these, by the way. Okay? But that's what I'm passionate about. And as I worked on the website, I'm going to show you that in the next recording, I wanted to make sure that the thing that I had for my students was the best possible. Because I want you not only to learn, but I want you to be able to enjoy learning in the process. It shouldn't be drudgery. I hope it isn't. Okay? So I want you to feel that passion, feel that enjoyment that I get from succeeding. Okay? And my success is when you succeed. So, how do we view success or failure? Now, at the outset, we did one. I said there's no problems, there are only opportunities. Here's the next one. There's no such thing as failure for an entrepreneur. I'm not going to do it that way again. More than once in my career, I've made mistakes, and I just sit there and go, I'm not going to make that one again. I'm going to make a whole lot of other ones, but I'm not going to make that one again, right? That's what being an entrepreneur is. It's the realization that, you know what? There's going to be turbulence. You're going to make mistakes, okay? But I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. I'll make some other mistake, but not that mistake, and move on from there. Okay? That's a unique quality. A lot of people, they make a mistake and that's it, they're done. Okay? You got to pull yourself up, say, yep, I made a mistake, and I move on. A little anecdote. Do you know that Edison tried hundreds of ways, different filaments, before he invented the light bulb? Okay? There's some argument whether or not he was the guy that actually came up with it, but that he tried hundreds of ways of doing it. And somebody once said to him, Mr. Edison, how did you get over all those failures? And he looked, he said, I didn't fail. I just found a lot of ways not to do it. Okay? And look where he ended up. Okay? Alexander Graham Bell, okay, was trying to make a telephone. He failed a lot. And then one day he spilled acid on himself, purely by accident, and yells out over the phone that he needs his assistant to come. And the assistant comes and he goes, how'd you know to come? He says, because I heard you through the telephone. Okay? And one last one that's near and dear also to my heart, the fellow that owns Papagino's, he went bankrupt, I think, almost a half dozen times before he finally hit one, and with Papagino's, and grew his franchises. So, if we all believe that we are entrepreneurs, and we should, what's our toolbox? Well, I created this little acronym, FACE. Okay? The first thing that you have in your toolbox is your foundational skills, where we're at here today. We're learning to plan, organize, lead, and control. Okay, so we're gonna get the first one, the foundational skills. Next, we're gonna have an awareness of environment, SWOT. Remember I told you that from now on in your life, whenever you hear the word environment, you're gonna think SWOT. Well, that's the second thing. See, so you're already on the road. The third thing, and we're starting to work on it, is communication. There's nothing more powerful for an entrepreneur than the ability to communicate. Just be able to do it in written fashion and oral fashion. And we're going to work on that as well. And finally, there's education. Okay? You do not need a PhD, obviously, to be an entrepreneur. There are a great many men and women in this world who have done fantastically with little or no education. Formal education. But you know what? A lot of them had street smarts. I call that anecdotal information. They learned from others, from stories, by listening, etc. And experiential. They had experiences. Okay? I'm a lawyer by training. Do you know in the state of Vermont, you can still become a lawyer simply by apprenticing to another attorney for 7 years and then taking the bar exam. One of the last states that allow that. That was the way that one used to learn the law. You apprenticed with an attorney and you went on from there. Law schools came a lot later. So, and there's many professions that are that way. Okay? Think of, if you know anybody who's in a union, right? You enter the union, you're only an apprentice. You have to go take classes, you have to be around journeymen, you have to learn how to do it. And then after a period of time and experience and education, you aspire to the level of journeyman. And then within some of the professions, you have master, like you have a master plumber, okay? Master electrician, okay? So there are different levels of this experiential learning, okay? So our toolbox, okay, as entrepreneurs, which we all are, is FACE. We have our foundational skills, we have an awareness of our environment, we know how to communicate, and most of all, we are willing to be educated. Now, before we move on and move off this chapter, I want to just discuss very briefly with you the framework under which entrepreneurs function. Okay? And you'll get more of this when you do your economics class. There are, I would suggest, 3 different structures that an entrepreneur could function under. The first is a solo practitioner. That's what you are right now. You're by yourself. You've got your pen, your pencil, your computer, you're ready to go. That's a solo practitioner. That's what I was when I practiced law. The next group beyond that are partnerships. Now, partnerships is, just like I said, the ability to successes and failures of fellow entrepreneurs working together, right? We've got more people working together in order to progress. And again, failures here, even by another entrepreneur in a partnership, may give you a success. So really, in business, there are no failures. There are just lots of big successes and some lesser successes. And then you have corporate. Now, corporate structure is a little bit more different. Okay, we have that working together concept again. However, there is an overlay of more legal regulation and legal requirements. And there could be others, okay, who are not necessarily the entrepreneurs, in other words, your stockholders, that are investing in the entrepreneurs. Under the partnership theory, normally it's the individual who bring their own capital to the project. Okay, so the corporate is third parties get to invest it. You know what? That guy knows how to do it. Okay, so this is the spectrum, I would suggest to you, of economic structures, okay, that entrepreneurs function under. Okay, and the idea is that you're going from on one extreme, the guy who's by himself or gal who's by themselves, to the other extreme where they're working and third parties are investing in what they're developing. So those are some considerations for entrepreneurs. The bottom line here is, though, as you read that chapter, is sit there and think about yourselves. Okay? Because you are all, right now, educational entrepreneurs. Welcome. I'll be back in a little while to discuss the new website, which is my entrepreneurial effort for this class. I'll see you soon. Take care.